the single most consistent thing that Guruji and Sharath asked of me when I was practicing is to be stronger. That's the single most consistent thing that they said to me. If I came to Mysore and I felt like I've finally gotten some strength, they would shout across the room, arms wobbling, and then I would break down and I would want to cry, and then they would come over and I would expect a hug. And then they would say, oh, you have to be stronger, and walk away. And I thought, you're mean. And then I understood now they were trying to teach me how exactly to be stronger. Because, one of the students that in the class on strength that I taught last week asked the same question. We went through all of this sort of, muscular breakdown about, well, here are the muscles you have to activate, and this is the direction that you should work with in the pelvis and in the shoulder girdle and this sort of thing. And then she just raised her hand and said, I don't understand where you find the power. I just don't get it. And I empathize with her so much, because when Guruji and Sharath said, you're weak, you have to be stronger. And I thought, how do you just be stronger? I could think about lifting weights or something like that to strengthen the muscles, but they kept saying, be stronger, be stronger. And then I thought, I kept thinking about it, and it kept happening that as I got stronger in my physical practice, I became emotionally stronger. I was not someone who was emotionally very strong. If I heard a negative comment, it would sort of sit with me and I'd think about it, and it would sort of, it would sort of ruin my day, and I'd get rather upset. And then through the practice, I've understood that, it doesn't really matter what other people are saying. If I'm true to myself, then that is the source of my strength. That is where I'm strong. And so I've thought about it, how strong do they want me to be? Well, they want me to be strong enough to believe in myself. And who am I, and who is my dharma in the world, and what is my dharma in the world? Well, I don't even think that's up to me, And so however big my mission is in life is how strong I need to be. So I tell people, how strong do you need to be? Strong enough to believe in your dreams, even if no one else believes, and even if you're the only one who believes. Because people will doubt when there's something new. Stupid little things. I wanted to learn to jump back in the practice. And I asked people, and everyone said, women can't do that. Women don't do that. I asked one teacher who was really good at it, and he said, this is a woman question, And I just felt like, well, I want to learn to do this. I want to do this. I don't care if no one else does this. I want to do this, and I don't care if everyone tells me that I can't do it. I'm going to figure this out. So that's how strong I needed to be, not just physically, but emotionally and psychologically, to say, even if I'm the only one who believes in this, I will stand for this truth, and I will work for it no matter how long it takes. And so for me, that is strength. And that's kind of what comes up for me when I meet people who say I should do this or I shouldn't do that, or then they have opinions. I've read at some moment, people who have negative opinions of me about one thing or another, people don't like my hair, they don't like my shorts. I'm like, you know what? Then you don't have to. That's fine. I like my hair. I like my shorts. That's really all that matters, So I wake up in the morning and I think, I know what it is to have low self-esteem. I know what it is to not like myself. I know what it is to wake up in the morning and be almost on a death wish for yourself, and to wish that, you'd never been born, or to wish that you were going to die. I know what that's like, and I don't feel like that anymore. So it doesn't really matter if someone hates me, because I don't hate myself anymore. And that's that makes all the world of a difference. So I'm not really interested in spending time in situations, where people are not supportive. If someone has some constructive negative feedback, I'm really interested in that, because I want to grow and I want the mirror. But if it's about, someone telling me that I should fit in some particular box, well, I've already broken the box that was given to me when I started this practice. And when I started my life, there were so many boxes that were presented to me about how I should have lived and how I should be in the world. And I think the practice is a vehicle of freedom. So there aren't any limitations in the human spirit. So why should we impose limitations on others? And why should we create these false conceptions of what we should and shouldn't do, instead of allowing ourselves to express our natural state of freedom, our natural state of truth? And perhaps that's one of the hardest lessons to understand in the practice, and one of the greatest lessons to understand when it really rings true.